So for example, if you see this pass again.
So, how to do impressions. I think the first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in.
In the process of looking those kind of bits, right, in any kind of sentence that we're doing, one thing you're going to see that always happens is that I mark at least the first word or the first strong sound that happened with the first word of each sentence, because usually that takes us to create, or every time we say something new, it has like an extra push of energy or something, and usually that is good to market, right?
So let's say I wanted to do an impression of Colin Firth. How do I begin? Well, the first thing I do is take Colin inside of me.
And even that is the only one. Sometimes that is the only one that we need to mark. Like, take Colin inside of me. Again, this falls into the thing of taking creative decisions based on timing and the ideas that I have. So this is, again, same kind of idea of take Colin inside of me, of just doing one pose or body change with the mouth going on. I really like that. I may add something later or not, but at the moment that's what I like, and that's what I am looking for. And that is based on that first change of that first word of the sentence that is happening. Other thing that also we're gonna start to do, or we can start to do in this phase, is try to mark down key poses corresponding to some poses that has no necessarily sound. We have a couple of things happening in the shot that has necessarily no sound, or ideas that I have that doesn't necessarily matches any kind of dialogue sound. For example, one is when he looks here after, when he says,
well, how would he look around the room?
He does like that kind of, why does he look around the room? He does like look, right, like raising up the eyebrows. We'll start to mark that down. Very simply, not too complicated, just one pose to see how that blends and integrate with the rest of the animation that we are starting to do. We also have like that kind of aspiration that is happening sometime after he does this.
Things that Colin Firth would, wow.
Colin Firth was, okay, I'm marking that down. I'm starting to create a key pose for that and see how it feels and see how it goes. So this falls into simplicity again, putting all the pieces together, small by small, step by step. We don't want to go too far. We don't want to define that much, right? Okay. Remember that, for example, now something that we also say a lot in the studio is that less is more. Less is more. Okay. Again, it falls into the keep it simple kind of thing, because if we get a good pose that is powerful, that is very expressive, that is very appealing, if we just hold it there as the character keeps talking, that is less, but that makes it very powerful too, very expressive. And you're gonna see that simplicity is something very difficult to aim. So we have to put a lot of effort and focus in trying to reduce the amount of things and craziness and ideas that happen, and just keep it simple and keep it direct in only one thing, right? So in the same line of work. So in this part of the work, I'm starting to use a lot the tweener. This one here, you can use the one from Animbot or any other tool. The more we keep going and advancing in the shot, the more the tweener we're gonna be using. The way I use the tweener sometimes is just with some parts of the body. Some parts of the body, maybe I make them to be closer to what is about to come, and maybe the other part of the body is closer to what I'm leaving behind, right? So we're starting to create this kind of in-betweens that they don't go all at the same time. So for example, if I'm doing this kind of pose here,
I'll do it.
when he says, I'll do it now, I'll do it for you now, we are just finishing to make this kind of look to the audience, and we want to go to this process or to this pose, or let's say change of pose, where he is like sitting again in the or let's say getting a better sit position, getting prepared for pretending to be Colin Firth. So this is the key pose that I have built, basically using the trainer. I'm gonna reproduce it for you to see how I did it, because this is gonna be part of the process all the time that we're gonna be doing, even in the next pass, which is gonna be looking for flow and trying to get that attitude, or trying to break down a little bit more and create more key poses that define a little bit more the animation. So let me get that guy away, maybe here. Okay. So I know that I want to do that bit here.
I'll do it.
Because I've been working on the dialogue bits. I'll do it. That's more or less here's what I wanted to happen. So basically what I do, I just don't select the whole thing. I might maybe start selecting the whole pose and trying to get close more or less to what I am going. And this creates like a pose where the whole character is approaching to the next pose, which is this. But I know that what I want to do, an idea that I have is, as the character does resets or get ready to reset, I want to do this kind of movement with the hands where he's like, I'll do it for you now. Right? So I want to get close to that pose of starting to go down, but I want to extend and do something different with the hands. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the chest, the neck, and the head, and try to get in a position that is kind of like in between where are we coming from and where are we going. Something maybe like that. But I know that the hands, as I was saying, the hands, I want to have like that idea of going towards into the side. So for that, I don't use the trainer. I just pose them separately. Actually, probably what I do, I select the whole hands and I tell them that I know that I want to go that way, but not yet. So I'm just gonna bring them out because I want to have that. Whoops. I want to have that feeling of, okay, so I'll do it for you now, right? Which is like a lot of energy. Again, this is part of also observing oneself and pulling the energies, right? So I know that I want to do that, and I'll do it for you now. Right, so as I do this also, I'll do it for now. I've used the trainer to get in an in-between pose, but I can see and I can feel in my body that I'm bringing the head up. I'll do it for you now. So I'm gonna bring the head up a little bit. Maybe support this pose with shoulders. The shoulders feel that they also go up. So this is a little bit of workflow of how to start getting those kind of key poses that are breakdowns of the golden poses, or kind of in between two golden poses, right? It's good to start using the tweener for some of the parts, so you know that more or less the transition in between those two poses are working good. But then you work with each part, with each part of the body separately, making that some parts of the body goes first, some others they drag, some other parts of the body, like for example the hands and the shoulders, they do something completely different, right? Okay, so this is more or less good because I'm doing that. I'll do it. I'll do it for you now. So that's more or less it, right? This is a process that I repeated all the time with all the new key poses that I am creating. And as we create more breakdowns for the flow process or the flow pass that we're going to be doing in a couple of classes or the upcoming stages, this is more or less what we are doing. That's the good thing of having already spent a lot of time creating very good and appealing poses, doing the golden poses. Because if we use the trainer, we know that whenever we're gonna fall, more or less, it's gonna start to look good enough, right? So because the two poses that we have are good looking, right? So it's one of the benefits of spending like a really lot of time on the key poses. So that's pretty much it. This is everything that I have done, workflow tips in this dialogue pass. This is still not the final pass for the blocking 2, the one that we would go and present to the directors. If we look at the if we look at how does it look now, you're gonna see that it still doesn't look good enough. That it still needs some more flow, some more kind of attitude, or some more definitions in some parts. Some ideas needs a little bit more of definition so the director can buy it and the supervisors too. So we need still to make a little bit, give a little bit more of love. For that is when we work a little bit more of flow and what we're gonna be looking at next.